So I know a lot of you are familiar with this whole Dr. Seuss situation. There's been some other developments, so I waited to talk about this for a little bit, but there's been some other things I want to talk about and then kind of tie it all together, make some correlations here about how in the end, this is how they win. And by they, I mean authoritarians, far leftists, just gross individuals who are out there pretending to want opportunities for everybody. Just stick with me, watch, and you'll see. White House sidesteps question on Dr. Seuss after Biden erased him from Reading Across America Day and instead calls it a day for celebrating diverse authors. The White House declined to defend Dr. Seuss after President Joe Biden left the children's author out of a proclamation celebrating Read Across America Day. It's especially important that we ensure all children can see themselves represented and celebrated in the books that they read. 6 Dr. Seuss books will no longer be published because of racist and insensitive imagery, Dr. Seuss Enterprises revealed on Tuesday. And that is the fault of them. They allowed that to happen. They could have said no, but they bent the knee as well, so can't really stick up for them, right? Read Across America Day is held annually on the author's birthday on March 2nd. Dr. Seuss, whose real name is Theodore Geisel, has been the face of the annual Read Across America Day for more than 20 years. Psaki said Education Department wrote the proclamation. There has been an increasing criticism in recent years over the way blacks, Asians, and others are drawn in some of his most beloved children's books. Seuss erased, they don't fight back. Read Across America Day started seemingly in his honor, but yet he's canceled now by and large. It leads to this. Universal Studios is evaluating the future of If I Ran the Zoo play area after 6 Dr. Seuss books are canceled for their racist imagery. Donald Trump Jr. reads Cat in the Hat to his son to protest the ban. Let's just look at the photos in this one. There's Don Jr., the cat in the hat. You got to retake that photo, little man. You got to work on their smile game. Nighttime reading with my man Spencer. This is an old standby, but given the craziness of today, it was definitely our first choice. Hashtag Dr. Seuss. Theodore Cruz said, utterly insane. Joe Biden is trying to cancel Dr. Seuss. Seems like he did. And it seems like the Dr. Seuss Foundation was fine with it, as we saw in the last segment. I haven't been to Universal Studios in a long time, but this is the If I Ran the Zoo play area at Universal Studios. They're trying to jump on board. Mulberry Street. Looks like a fun place for kids to go. Oh, here we go. The image appears in the 1937 book, and I think I saw it on Mulberry Street. It shows an illustration of a Chinaman who eats with sticks. A caricatured picture of an Asian man. So you're telling me that in Asia, that people don't eat rice with sticks, also known as chopsticks. Now, interestingly enough, when I go to Japanese restaurants and eat sushi, I also grab those sticks. I'd wear one of those hats if they let me, though. Presidents Clinton, Obama, and Trump have all mentioned Dr. Seuss in conjunction with Read Across America Day. Interesting how it wasn't racist here. If I Ran the Zoo, which was published in 1950, includes a drawing of 2 barefooted African men wearing what appear to be grass skirts with their hair tied above their heads. Is that what it is? Are these African? I'm not familiar with this book at all. Is this guy really saying that these are African men? I just don't know. Like I said, I'm not familiar with it. Well, that's not good. If that were a portrayal of African men, I get it, but if I saw that, I wouldn't think that those were portrayals of men because people don't look like that. Those look like apes to me. I don't know. I don't know what they are. As I said, I'm not familiar with the book. But there is an interesting side that comes with cancellation. You might have seen this with Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben's. I will never cancel Dr. Seuss. Fans drive up prices of authors' books by hundreds amid outrage over woke decision to pull 6 titles because of racist and insensitive imageries. Cause and effect, right? Let's check out some of this eBay stuff. Look at this. Dr. Seuss, the Cat's Quizzer. 2 days left. He's up to $630. 6 days left, up to $510. If I Ran the Zoo books here, $475, $215, $510. I was joking with my wife on Tuesday morning. I was saying, oh, well, watch the prices of Dr. Seuss books. Go 2x, 3x. And she didn't really understand why. And being somebody that's in the collectibles field in terms of seeing how investments go and how people flock to things and how the craze has been and things collectible. It was just an assumption, and I'm sure a lot of you thought this as well. And we had an example just days ago. The Mr. Potato Head stuff started shooting up when it seemed like he was just going to be called Potato Head. You take the lessons you learn from the past, and so I figured this was going to happen. Now, to this extent, I had no idea. Here's some more listings, $5.50, and these look like they're from the original books. These are old books here. They aren't the ones I would have seen as a kid, 1953, 1960s. So some of them with a really super early print date, really rare. Here you go, rare edition, 1955, $760. So everybody, don't go out and swipe the 1980s and 1990s ones from your library and try to sell those on eBay. Actually, I wonder if that's not a bad idea. I'll pay the fines. I'll pay the fee. Let me give them $5-10 for that book if I can sell it for $200. Somebody try to get a little greedy here. No bids so far. So to tie it all together, you say, oh, okay, well, there's people fighting back. But then again, Universal Studios doing what they do. Read Across America Day. You saw the foundation and their actions. That's what I mentioned in the beginning. That's how they win. They only win if you bend over, if companies bend over and let this happen. Dr. Seuss' stepdaughter says he didn't have a racist bone in his body, but defends pulling of the 6 titles because the world is in pain. There it is. When you're a coward, they win. Lark Gray Diamond Cates defended her stepfather. Did she? No. Halfway. She went halfway with it. Whose real name is Theodore Geisel. On Tuesday, after 6 of his books were pulled from publication, there wasn't a racist bone in that man's body. Okay, so then why are you pulling the books? He was so acutely aware of the world around him and cared so much. She said she hopes the books will be reintroduced someday, but added, I think in this day and age it's a wise decision. And that's how it is. You keep giving and giving and giving. Think about it this way. A cliff's behind you, a mile away. A year ago, you keep backing up. Every time they push, you keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Next thing you know, you fell over to the cliff, to the bottom. Maybe there's some water down there that you landed in, but you're done. You're dead. And you know what they do? Find the next one, and the next one, and the next one. When you're a coward because you're afraid of the mob on the internet, and you're afraid of people saying things about you, making up stuff about you, this is how they win. And you all know that. I don't have to tell you this. People who watch my channel, I think, aren't the type of people that are cowards. And they aren't the type of people that would try to do this to other people over nonsense. You have to put stuff into historical perspective, sure. But the reality is if we keep trying to cancel things because they're offensive to 3 people, ultimately there will be nothing left. What will be left? Nothing, because everybody can be offended by everything. That's the reality. It's what I always say, though, is you have to realize what kind of privilege this life affords us. It's the privilege to where trivial stuff like this is what they have to go after. People aren't going after things that really matter because those things have already been resolved. It's the trivial things that people go after. And let's be honest, people who would spend their time trying to participate in this kind of cancel culture are losers. I would say that if you're somebody who's seeing people getting canceled, though it's participating as well, the only way to end this is to cancel everybody who's trying to cancel, tit for tat. Get rid of those people and then just end it right there and let everybody go back to living the great life that we lead here in our advantaged society. The advantaged society is why people cry and moan and pretend like these kind of things are problematic when there's real world problems out there. Do the Trumplicans realize that Geisel was pro-choice, anti-fascist, and liberal? Doesn't matter. It's not even about that. That's what this person doesn't seem to get, is we don't have to agree on all issues. Cancel culture is stupid, and free speech has to be protected. You would think an adult would get that. This woman should be ashamed of herself for supporting Dr. Seuss's cancellation. Exactly my point. What? There are statues? Time for the woke generation to tear them down, in case someone's feelings get hurt. Books enlighten. That depiction of certain people serves inly to dehumanize them, regardless if how nostalgic these books may feel. I love Tintin too, but some depictions won't fly in today's enlightened world. Enlightened, somebody laughs. Exactly. This isn't enlightened, and that's the problem. If you see this as enlightening, then that's the problem. You mean the world is insane? The horror. No, the terror to see the Obamas reading Dr. Seuss. They must be canceled immediately. As I said before, why hasn't Obama's mom been canceled? And why hasn't Obama been canceled at least in half? And his daughters in quarter, right? So Obama's not fully black, right? So they got to cancel some of him. Rainbow eggs and ham. There you go. No longer green eggs and ham, but rainbow eggs and ham. Please let this be the last word on this subject. It won't be. It doesn't matter. The woke lot are in charge. Biden desperate to please because of his predator past. Exactly. And those comments he's made as well. You ain't black. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Dr. Seuss, everyone. If you've got an old edition, maybe time to sell it. Make some money. Take care, everybody.